ano lang bro yung ano lang, yung PowerPoint dito. PowerPoint lang. Okay lang, sige, okay lang. Nakikita ka naman. Ayan na ba? Alright. Wait lang. Can you please? Alright, good afternoon to all of you. So, welcome to our webinar, no, which is accounting for beginners. So basically, yes, we had a webinar before, which is accounting for accountants, no. But now, no, parang naisip ko, what if, no? What if accounting for beginners is basically parang pinaka-basic about accounting, no? I want you to learn more or appreciate more accounting, especially in terms of being an entrepreneur, being a professional at the same time, soon, no? Soon, become a top management. All right. But before that, no? Okay. So, by the way, again, I am John Michael Angelo Z. Lopo. I am a CPA and RCA and MBA. So, just call me J-Man. No? J-Man because I have a very long... yes, BS Accountancy, Ateneo de Naga University. Okay? Ateneo de Manila University, my MBA, Regis program, and also Regis University. And then also, I have a postgraduate, no? In the AIM. Okay? Presently, no, yes, I am the CEO and the executive director and the co-founder of the Cybersecurity Asia. So meaning, our focus here is basically to help entrepreneur, to help you as individual, to appreciate more, no, about accounting, human resource, marketing, at the same time, all other aspects of business. Kasi bakit? Of course, because of pandemic, no, very important is tayo ay nagtutulungan, no, in terms of giving training, giving advices, or giving consulting. Okay? Formerly, no, I have with me, no, my former office mates, Emma and Sibyl, no. I became part of the Santa Fe location, no, and also San Miguel Brewery. So basically, I spent my 13 years at San Miguel Brewery Inc. For the past 13 years. Okay? And also, I am a part-time professor now for the past 6 years. I am professor in Ateneo de Manila University, the LSU Manila, UANP, San Beda College Alabang, and Perpetual Health. No? A lot of why? Because I created this Strive Executive Asia because for me, I have passion for teaching. Kaya yun, no? Basically, kaya tayo nandito, no? Because of this parang per se passion for teaching. Alright, sige. But now, no? First part is accounting for beginners. Gusto ko malaman nyo, no? Accounting as an essential skills for leaders, no? Why? Because basically, no, if you are an accountant, if you know how to bookkeep, especially bookkeeping, especially accounting, no, you can be able to apply, especially now, no, very important is accounting. All right. I will discuss about definition of accounting. No? Saan ba nagsimula ang accounting? Number 2, the nature of accounting is also very important. Nature meaning characteristics of the accounting, right? Yan, functions, purpose of accounting, at the same time, objective of accounting. So very important are the users of information. Bakit may tinatawag na internal or external users of information? Alright. Also, skills, no? If you are, yes, if you have no background in accounting, as long as you have the business skills, no? In the need of accounting, you can be able to apply, you can be able to know the importance of accounting. Alright. That would be the first part. The second part is basically, how about if you are now an entrepreneur? No? Entrepreneur basically, ano yung kailangan mong gawin? Okay? Because may passion talaga, may objective talaga na lahat kayo maging entrepreneur. No? Kasi for me, no, bakit tayo pumupunta sa ibang bansa ng ating mga Filipino OFW? Why? Because to become employee. No? Parang tayo ay lumaki para lang maging empleyado. No? For us, mas maganda, all of us will become an entrepreneur. Kaya, that's the reason why, no, this accounting will highlight that soon you will become an entrepreneur. By the way, ano lang, intermission lang about this webinar. By the way, if you will avail for the 2,500 for the whole webinars this March, you have a chance to win a homepreneur franchise of Kuro Kuro. So yun, if ever you want to attend pa after this, taxation, and then entrepreneurial, and then the last is all about business law. All right. Anyway, number 1. Okay. PowerPoint, please. All right. Explain the definition of accounting. Okay? So number 1 is very important is what do you mean of accounting? Pwede naman wala accounting, di ba? Pero bakit may accounting? All right. From the definition of AICPA, kasi nagsimula talaga lahat yan, is from the American Institute of the Certified Public Accountant. Ang sabi nila, it is the art of recording. Di ba? Nagsimula ang accounting in terms of recording transactions. Paulit-ulit ng paulit-ulit, you have your recording. What else? You classify and you summarize. That's the meaning of accounting. Classification meaning you summarize all your cash, you summarize all your liabilities, you summarize all your equities. That's basically you record it, you classify it, you summarize it. All right. Next, ang sabi, AICPA is also you record, you classify, and you summarize. But the keyword here is basically to interpret their outcome. So, yun yung importante, To interpret the outcome is also very important, Why interpretation? Because with this, interpretation is you can have, the analysis, the interpretations. That's why you have your accounting. Kasi, honestly, there are a lot of accountant now. Yes, they are good in terms of recording. Debit and credit lang yan, sir. You classify that, you summarize that. But the problem here is, kailangan mo ba to interpret the data? Marunong ka ba mag-interpret ng data? Yes or no? Diba? Yun lang yung problema sa atin. Alright. And also, in terms of the AICPA, an art. When you have an art, is basically you apply the knowledge, experience, and skills guided by accounting principles. Hindi pwedeng bara-bara lang. You just record the FS, you record the FS, the income statement, the balance sheet without the accounting principles. Okay? Okay, later I will discuss to you what are the accounting principles. Alright. Also, sabi nila, ang accounting daw ay very good or parang pag sinabing accounting is a number. Yes, number, math, pero ang accounting daw is also very important in terms of critical thinking and creative skills. Especially in terms of analysis. Dapat marunong ka mag-analyze ng interpretations of data. Bakit? Paano mo malalaman if it is a debit and credit if you do not know how to analyze the data? Later, don't worry. Alright, next is accounting. Accountant gather data in the business and convert them into organized FS. That's why you have your income statement, you have your balance sheet, you have your cash flow, you have your equity, and you have your notes to FS. So basically, that's accounting per se. Next, accounting from the ASC. So kasi nagsimula lahat yan sa US talaga. Accounting is a service activity. Yes. The functions is to provide quantitative information. Sir, bakit quantitative information? So meaning, hindi ba importante is the qualitative information? The answer is no. Yes. The reason why quantitative, because you have numbers. Yeah? You have numbers, you have monetary measures, the Philippine peso. Di ba? Sa Tagalog, may amount. Or sa Tagalog, may parang may amount in terms of your transactions. Okay? So, it is primarily in terms of your nature, entities, to be useful in terms of economic decisions. That's basically your accounting as the ASC. Alright. What else? ASC conveys also that economic decisions making is the main reason why accounting records and financial reports are prepared. Bakit yung company nyo, no? Santa Fe location, your San Miguel Brewery Inc., or any other business, even Stripe Executive Asia, why we need to have accounting? Because to know if the company is operating at net income, if the company is operating at net loss. At the same time, you have your FS, no? You can be able to know if to be able to know if they are not deficit, to know if they are not operating at net loss. Napakasaklap naman noon, no? San Miguel Beer for the past 135 years, and yet you are at net loss. And worse pala pag net loss. Paano kung break even? Diba? Nagpagod ka lang. Alright. Also, ASC. ASC is basically a service activity. Accounting is a service wherein accounting intends to supply financial reports to be used by economic decision makers. Yes. Stakeholders, the suppliers, the bankers, the employees, and all the stakeholders are the users of the information. Bakit? Let's say si Miss Sibyl, no, ng Santa Fe location. Okay, want to invest at one of the company, 'di ba? So, meaning anong titingnan mo, Miss Sibyl? Of course, you will look into your the FS of San Miguel, 'di ba? Titingnan mo, yung San Miguel ba ay operating at net income? Pag net income yan, go. I will invest to that company. Alright. Pero pag net loss yon, deficit yon, no? Of course, you will not invest to that company. Why? Because the keyword here or the main reason here is decision making of the users of information. Alright. Next. Accountant is basically choose an acceptable accounting method, no, or the amount of information to disclose in the form of process. So meaning, very important is methods and amounts. In terms of the disclosures of kailangan alam mo ang form of information sa alright. Also, American AAA na process buying process kanina din sa unique yan natin account short, 'di ba? Hindi mo na yan ba for you, 'di ba? Summarize and Nawala ba? Hello, hello? Hello? Hello, hello? Test mic. Hello, hello? Hello? Test mic. Still no sound. We cannot hear you. Hello, hello. Test mic. Hello? Patawag ka si Andrew. Hello, hello, hello. Test mic. May sound na ba? Patawag ka si Andrew, please. Para... Walang sound, bro. Kanina pa wala salita, wala palang sound eh. Hello? Walang sound daw lahat. Pina-stop ako. Naka-live ako. Naka-live ba ako? Naka-live ba ako? Hindi. Hello, hello. Sige, sir. Dapat. Dito lang ako. Hello? Hello, hello. Test mic. Alright. Hello? Hello? Ito na, test. Okay na to. May walang... Oo. At least nakita nila ito yung problema. May mic. Sabi ko nila ang problema, mic. Ito, brago to? Bago? Okay, go. Go. Pero na ano ba? Naririnig ba? Hello? Okay na?
Ano tayo? Yung totoong micro. Meron tayo.
Pwede naman, sir. Kaso malaki siya eh. May kata dun sa...
Hindi, parehas naman yata doon ko. Yung niya.
Sir, parehas lang.
Hello, hello? Test mic? Hello? Hello? Yan. Yung ano mismo pa. Hello, hello? Yes? Ulitin ko na lang lahat. No? The PowerPoint, please. PowerPoint. Yan. Yan ako lang yung ano. From the start na lang tayo. From the start. Alright. Alright, sige. Go. Alright. Live na? Hello? Okay na. Test mic. Can you hear me now? Hello? 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 Yan. Alright. Sige. So we have a problem now in a microphone. Alright, sige. You can hear me now? Alright. Thank you, Mon. Alright, sige. May student, no? Mon. Okay. Alright, you can start now? Alright, again. Sige, I will, for the sake, no? I will begin with, we will begin no, from the start para at least we can be able to appreciate more about accounting. Alright, again. Number one, explain the definition of accounting. Alright. PowerPoint, please. Alright, again, accounting. Sige, we will start now. Accounting is from the AICPA. So, accounting is basically the art of recording, classifying, and summarizing. So, meaning, when you have a recording, you have a classifying and summarizing. Basically, you record everything, no, by debit and credit, no. At the same time, you classify it and you summarize it, no. In the sense that you have money, transactions, and events, no. At this, it is also part of, nawawala ako. Ano to? Alright, sige. Okay naman. Nawawala ba ako, bro? Alright, go. Sige. So in terms of money, in terms of transactions and events, no? And also, very important is PowerPoint, please. Next is record, classify, and summarize. Now, di ba sabi ko kanina, very important is, yes, you are good in terms of recording, you are very good in terms of classifying, but the question is, marunong ka bang mag-interpret ng FS, no? Interpretation is very important in this cycle, no? Especially in terms of accounting, especially in terms of AICPA, wherein interpretation is the very parang, for me in accounting, parang yan yung to classify, to summarize everything. Okay? Interpretations of FS. Alright, next. According to the AICPA, accounting is basically an art. No? Yes, accounting is an art. Accountant apply practical knowledge, experience, and skills guided by the accounting principles. No. Why? Because if not, for sure, no? If you are not guided by accounting principles, lahat naman kayo, no? Even though you are a doctor, a lawyer, no? If you are a accountant, no? We are guided by accounting principles, no? We're in the debit and credit also. And also, very important is accounting demands a critical thinking and creative skills, di ba? Sabi nila, accounting daw is a number. Yes, no? Number. At the same time, accounting is basically, you have math. Yes. But sabi nila, accounting demands critical thinking and creative skills, no? Accounting demands an analysis of it, no? Dapat very important is the analysis. All right. Accountant gather data of business and convert them into organized financial reports. So, bakit kailangan natin i-convert them, no, into the financial reports, no? Because of gathering the data, you have your source documents, you have your sales invoice, delivery receipt. Diba? Ano ginagawa natin? Yan ay to convert them into the FS. Kaya nga may tinatawag tayo na journal entries. We have our ledger, we have our adjustment, no? You have our worksheet, and eventually it will become part of your FS. Okay? All right. Again, ASC. What do you mean of ASC? No, a service activity wherein the functions is to provide quantitative information. All right. The question is, sir, why is it that quantitative information? Hindi ba pwedeng qualitative information? Meaning none, more on qualitative. Yan ba ay hindi importante? No, no. Yes, we also consider that, but the more quantitative techniques now is very important. Why? Of course, you have money. No? You have your money, you have your measurement basis, no? 'Di ba pag sinabing accounting, kaperahan daw, 'di ba? And the keyword here is intended to be useful in making economic decisions. Yan. The keyword here is decision making. Alright. Again, ASC conveys that the economic decision making is very important, di ba? Bakit ka nandito? No? Bakit ka let's say si Miss Emma, no, or si Miss Sibyl as my former office mates, no? Gusto niya mag-invest sa Strive. No? Let's say Strive is we can go IPO. Ano gagawin ni na Miss Emma and Miss Sibyl? Of course, they will look, no, into our FS, di ba? Our FS ba is operating at net income or net loss? Di ba? Ano ba? O, pag nakita ni Miss Emma na ang Strive ay operating at billions of pesos, di ba, Miss Emma? You will invest in our company. Di ba? Meaning, FS is very important, no, to look that the FS, especially in terms of your income statement, if it is a net income or if it is a net loss. How about in terms of balance sheet? The balance sheet naman is basically if the balance sheet is if the company is not a deficit, no? Let's say deficit meaning your asset is less than your liabilities. Later, I will explain to you the basic accounting equations, no? Later. All right. PowerPoint, please. All right. Next, ASC also define accounting as a service, no? Service is basically intend to supply FS to be used by
economic decision makers. Yan. So accountants choose an acceptable methods, amounts, and type of information. Yan. To disclose the format of it, no, in which to present, no. That's basically your FS. So very important here is the ASC definitions. Yan. Accountable, accounting methods, no, and the amounts of it. At the same time, types of information. Sir, but may format? Yes. Yes, in accounting, there's a format, pero dapat pare-parehas, no? Hindi pwedeng through Excel, iba-iba ang ginagawa natin. Yan. Alright. PowerPoint, please. Alright, next. In terms of AAA naman, okay? American Accounting Association, accounting is basically the process of identifying. You identify, you measure, and ano yung bago? The very important is proper communication. Na? Communicating the economic information to permit the informed judgment and decisions by the users of the information. Very important is proper communication. Bakit kayo nag-i-invest in one particular company, especially if you have money, no? 'Di ba? Ngayon nauuso ngayon yung mga Investagram. Ano ginagawa niyo, 'di ba? The company should communicate to you that they are operating at net income or net loss. Of course, they will not have that, no? But merely looking at the FS of the information. That's basically communication. You have your FS, you have your balance sheet, you have your income statement, you have your cash flow, you have your equity. All of this, basically will become part of your parang decision making. Ako ba ay mag-i-invest in that particular company? Common sense lang, pag net loss, may dalawang isip ka. Why? If there's a potential to that business, kahit yan ay net loss, ano gagawin mo? You will invest. Yan. Alright. As a process, yes, accounting goes through accounting cycle. You summarize voluminous and repetitive transactions. Yes, accounting cycle is to summarize, no, as a process, no. As you notice, no, my first event in Strive, as the company, as paid is accounting for non-accountants. So you can avail naman that, no, in our website. Is basically I teach you more about the bookkeeping naman, no, journal entries, ledger. I'll teach you more about the worksheet. I think yung mga ano ko dito sa Ateneo and the LSU. Yun yung tinuro ko sa inyo, di ba? About information about the FS up to the preparation of your FS. Tama ba, Mon? I think I remember Mon. No? Alright. Next. Pero ngayon, ang gagawin natin ngayon sa accounting for beginners, yung pinaka very basic talaga. Very basic of accounting, to know the very basic of accounting. Alright. Next, please. PowerPoint, please. Alright, next. Accounting, again, AAA also. Accounting measures and records the data of the FS. Yes, again, FS, you have your FS, you have your accounting system. Accounting daw is basically an information system. Yes, because you have your input, you have your output, and you have your input, processes, and output. Input is basically your source documents, no? Your delivery receipt, your sales invoice, no? Kasi take note, huwag kang magre-record ng accounting if you have no recording of transaction, no? Mortal sin 'yan. Kasi pag na-audit ka, especially ng Bureau of Internal Revenue, ba't ka nagre-record ng walang source documents? That's the input. Then you have your processes. So you have your journal entries up to the worksheet, no? Your output is basically your FS na, no? Your balance sheet, your income statement, your statement of equity, your cash flow. And basically, ikaw ay magde-decide if you will invest in that company. All right. By the way, if you have question, just message us, no? All right. So far clear? All right, just message us, no? Baka may problem pa din. Alright, clear ba? Sibyl? Alright, sige. Alright. So if you have concern, just message us. Okay? So far clear. Alright, next. Accounting. So accounting is basically, again, is an accounting process. Okay? Accounting process, why? Because you have your you have your accounting cycle, no? 'Di ba? Naalala pa ba? Alright, clear po. Thank you, Sai Sibyl. Hi, Sibyl. Alright. So, accounting process, no? Basically, you have your journal entries, you have your ledger, you have your adjustment, no? Up to the FS. So, yun yung walang kamatayang worksheet na ginagawa namin, no? If you are accountant, no? Makaka-relate kayo na yung ginagawa, especially in terms of journal entries. Yan. So, that's the accounting process. Okay? Then, after that, no? That information is also to be dapat very important is your accounting equation. Asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. All right. What do you mean of this? No, if you have your own business, as long as you know the basic formula of this, no, 'di ba? In your, if you are working at the government, anong tawag dito? 'Di ba? Ito ay tinatawag na net worth, no? 'Di ba? Tinatawag na SALN, SALN. Statement of assets, liabilities, and net worth. Why? Because the owner's equity here is also known as a net worth. Yan. Again, this is a formula, no? Asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. Assets minus liabilities, you have your owner's equity or your capital. Common sense lang. If your assets is 10 million and you have liabilities of 11 million, you are deficit of 1 million. Meaning, you are not capable of paying your obligations. Why? Because you have more liabilities than your assets. Yan. So, pag si Sibyl, pag madaming pera, di ba Sibyl, ang dami mong pera. No? If your assets is 11 million and your liabilities is 7 million. Yan. So, the net worth of Sibyl is 3 million. Yan. That's basically the owner's equity. That's basically the net worth. Okay? Mas maganda. Okay. Sana, no? Alright. So, meaning, if ever na you have your assets and you have no liabilities, mas maganda yon. Meaning, kung wala kang liability, you have more assets, mas okay. Diba? Alright. Next. Sorry. Last thing is, all of this, no, will be communicated to internal and external users. No? Bakit mo kailangan yan, no? If you are an internal, if you are a employees, no? Yung company ko ba ay nag-ooperate pa ng net income? Pag hindi, ako ay magre-resign na. Yan, internal. External naman is stakeholders, the suppliers, the bankers. The Bureau of Internal Revenue is basically the external. Yan. Alright, so meaning, habulin ka ng BIR. If you have more net income, and after that is, you have more liabilities, you have more payment in the Bureau of Internal Revenue. Alright. Not to worry. In this accounting for beginners, no, is basically I relate it if you will become an entrepreneur soon, 'di ba? Kasi as you notice, no, in this webinar, parang if you want to avail the 2,500, no, you will avail all the webinars at the same time. You have a chance to win Kuro Homepreneur franchise with my good friend na sabi niya, sige, I will give you one franchise. No? Yan. So, if ever lang. Alright. Why? Because gusto ko, lahat kayo maging entrepreneur. All of you will become entrepreneurs para at least lahat tayo maging masaya. No? Okay? Anyway. PowerPoint, please. Alright. Number 2. Explain the nature of accounting. Okay? Nature of accounting, the most description of the accountants are the portray as follows. This discipline. Yun, lahat naman, no, even though you are not an accountant, no, discipline is very important, no. Alright, meaning observe ethics. So, lahat naman ng bagay, you observe an ethics or standards. Alright. Also, guided by accounting standards, rules, methods, and procedures, no. Lahat naman yan ay nasusulat, standards and methods. Number 2 is accounting is, yes, ethics in accounting is the most utmost importance. Lalo na kami kasi ay, kami yung parang kami yung taga-check ng credibility of the FS. Kung umpisa pa lang, wala nang ethics, wala, 'di ba? Parang ano bang nangyari sa Enron and Arthur Andersen and Anderson, 'di ba? Parang Anderson and Anderson is the auditing firm of the Enron, no? because of the money. ano nangyari, 'di ba? Nalugi. Palugi na yung Enron, pero ano ginawa ng auditing firm na Andersen, 'di ba? Ginawa nila is parang through fraud na sasabihin nila na they are operating at net income. In fact, hindi. No? Yan lang yung if you are an accountant, no, dilemma of being an accountant is basically to have two sets of book. In reality, ganun talaga nangyayari. Dalawa yung book ng business. I-record mo ba yung tama or yung mali? Yan. Alright. Also, if you're a CPA, no, highly competent, reliable, and objective, and high degree of integrity. Yun. Very important is the high degree of integrity, meaning free from bias and you are objective. You are honest enough to perform your duties, no, as a CPA. All right. Number 2, service activity. Yes, accounting is not involved in selling your goods. Accounting is a profession, pero hindi kami nagbebenta ng goods, no? Okay? We are just selling our services. All right. Instead, yun nga, providing professional services, particularly in performing tasks by making financial reports regarding the financial activities of economic entities. Yan. All right. Also, service activity also, yan nga, paulit-ulit lang, no? We perform financial report, balance sheet, income statement, cash flow. Don't worry, later, no? I will teach you how to prepare that financial report. In easy way lang, no? I will not teach you more of the complex way, okay? So before making economic decisions, now this FS are communicated. Take note of the naka-highlight, no? Properly communicated, explained first to the economic decisions. Yan. So very important is the proper communication. Kasi pag wala kang communication, baliwala lahat yan, no? Bakit ka pa nagkaroon ng proper or you have your proper communication or explain? 'Di ba? Okay. Question. How do we know if our company is still operating by net income? All right. Just look, no, into the FS of the company, okay? And then sabihin mo, can I please, to the finance department, no, can you please give me your FS? Yan. If the sales, no, if the sales is less than your expenses, that would be a net loss, 'di ba? Pero makikita mo siya, maganda siya if civil, no, maganda siya if the company is what you call that, is in the initial public, in the public, meaning you can download that, no, to the SEC. Pero ngayon mahirap siya pag wala siya sa SEC, lalo na pag international. So, yun. So, request ka lang or request ka. Sa makikita mo naman yun, no? If the company is not operating or at net income. Okay. Anyway, next. PowerPoint, please. PowerPoint, please. All right, next. All right. Next, an art and science, no? An art or science, accounting is basically an art and science. So very important is accounting is designed to perform its service with utmost efficiency and in the best possible manner without any waste or wastage of time and money. All right, the keyword here, an utmost efficiency and in best possible manner. All right, that's basically your accounting, okay? An art. PowerPoint, please. All right, as a science, yes, accounting is a science regulated by accounting rules, principles, postulates, and theories, no? Or theoretical part. Kasi pag wala kang rules and principles to regulates, no, paano ka magiging science, di ba? Pero ang sabi, accounting is not an exact science. Yan, wala naman perfecto. Di ba? Bakit nagbabago-bago ang accounting as time goes by? Because of the new conceptual framework. Kaya nga ayaw ko magturo ng financial accounting. Totoo lang. Ng FAR. Financial Accounting and Reporting sa undergraduate. Kasi nagbabago-bago siya every year. What I am teaching now is basically cost accounting, management accounting. Kasi for decision making. Diba? Yan. Alright. Next. language of business. Ito yung walang kamatayang definitions of accounting. Pag sinabing accounting, accounting is the language of business. Why? Because of proper communication to the users of information. Bakit ka pumupunta sa FS? Para makita if the company is operating at net income or net loss. If the company is deficit or not. Diba? Ang daming pera ni Mon, no? Or sino pa nandito? Daming pera ni Morel, no? Alright. So, Morel, no? Daming pera. So, because of that, kailangan niyang mag-invest. So, nag-invest siya sa, let's say, sa Banco de Oro. Kasi nakita niya, ang BDO, operating siya or to the EPS, earnings per share. Maganda. Alright. Next, it communicates financial results, economic status, financial standing to internal parties. Yun nga, again, proper communication is very important, no? To the internal and external users of information. Bakit yung mga suppliers tumitingin sa balance sheet? Kasi sila yung may mga pautang, no? Let's say in the inventories, no? Nagpapautang sila with a credit limit. Sa tingin nyo ba if deficit yung company, meaning malaki ang liability sa assets, sa tingin nyo ba papautangan ka nila? Malamang hindi, 'di ba? Why? Because you have more liabilities than your assets. For sure, hindi ka makakabayad ng utang, especially in terms of your assets. Yan. Bakit tumitingin ang Bureau of Internal Revenue sa net income? Para lang magbayad kayo ng tax. Ganun lang ngayon. Bakit yung competitor ay tumitingin sa FS? Titingnan nila kung sila ba ay operating or sila ba ay surviving, especially now because of pandemic. Yan. Alright. Again, language of business. Accounting serves as to provide basis for planning, yes, budgeting, decision making, and even your life, no? Sino ba nandito? Pwede pa tingin yung mga attendance, nag-attend room? Alright, sabihin natin si Cedric, Cedric Maranan. Alright, si Cedric Maranan, no? Kaya lang wala kang baon ngayon, Cedric, no? Kasi wala kang baon ngayon, no? Work from home. You're studying, no? Alright, online, no? So meaning, wala kang pera, meaning in terms of your budget, 'di ba? Hindi mo siya budget, no, in terms of your personal life and your business activities. Yan. All right. Next. Accounting also plays an essential role in terms of businessman, no? If the company ba, how much is the increase in your capital as the result of business operation? Meaning, it is profitability. Diba? If the company ba, if you increase your capital, if you increase your operation, meaning you have more profit. PowerPoint, please. Letter boy? Alright. Letter boy is basically liquidity. No? Are there available funds to finance the business operations? Liquid ba yung company mo? Liquid meaning your current assets is more than your current liabilities. Liquid meaning your current, no? Meaning ano yun? Capability of paying your short-term assets, no? To your short-term liability or current assets and your current liabilities. Letter C. Can the business pay the long-term obligation? So liquidity is more on a short-term, meaning yun yung mga cash mo, account receivable, inventories, yun yung mga short-term assets. And then, you compare that with the short-term liabilities. Yan, that's the liquidity. How about solvency naman? Ito naman yung nangyayari ngayon, no? Long-term obligations, especially now because of the pandemic, di ba? For sure, madaming tinatamaan dito sa solvency. Can the business pay the long-term obligations to the others? That's the word solvency. Going concern. In the first place, bakit yung Strive Executive Asia ay mag-put up ng business? Because we think that this business will exist indefinitely. No? Wala naman siguro nagsasabi na si Sibyl, no, magnenegosyo ako para malugi, di ba? Or si Emma, di ba? Hindi naman siya, ako ay magnenegosyo para malugi. No. Magnenegosyo ako for long-term plan, for long-term goal, to survive, no? To survive in a long period of time or indefinitely. Yung San Miguel Corporation is now 137 years. Kung noon pa lang iniisip nila na malulugi yung San Miguel, now San Miguel is now 137 years, no? Because of solvency. All right. PowerPoint, please. Next is all about stability. Yan. Can the business sustain the long-term profitability and cash flow? Yan. So if the company ba is as a more profit or as a more cash flow, meaning stable ang company yan. But kayo nag-i-invest sa San Miguel? Because San Miguel, alam natin na 137 years na, stable na yung company na. It is for a long-term stability. Alright. Letter E, capital structure naman. How much borrowed capital and owner's capital are invested in the business? Alright. Tanungin ko kayo, what if you have your own company? Gusto mo mag-put up ng business? Anong pipiliin nyo? Mangungutang kayo sa bangko? Or you will accept business partner? So, depende yan, depende yan, no? Kasi if ever na you will borrow money, so you will consider, no, what? Interest. You will consider interest, okay? What if you will consider naman business partner, no? If you consider business partner, is basically you will pay for dividends. So meaning depende yan, no? Capital structure if you will borrow money from the bank, or you will accept partner. For me, mas maganda partner, no? Kasi nga mas maganda pa rin yung collaborative partnership. Why? Because with the common ideas, no, with the common ideas, parang collaborative, no, or partnership. That's the very basic in terms of capital structure, no? To accept partner. Alright, kayo ba? Tanungin ko kayo, Sibyl, ikaw ba ay if you want to put up your business, gusto mo mangutang ka? Mangungutang ka ba? Or i-accept mo si Emma as your partner? Yan, di ba? Depende, no? Alright. PowerPoint, please. Partner, di ba? Partner din. In Strive now, yes, we have partnership kasi parang maganda kasi na collaborative ideas, 'di ba? Yun yung pinaka-importante sa lahat, 'di ba? Alright. Accounting daw plays an important role to business. Ito kakapingin ko lang pala to, no, in terms of sinabi sa akin ni Sir Joey, no, about yung disruptive, innovative through collaboration, di ba? Through collaboration with knowledge and skills, no? That's basically very important. F, no? Flexibility. What if you have enough cash? Di ba? You have enough cash, meaning you will think for opportunities, di ba? That's why you are flexible enough. In terms of uncertainties, you are flexible that you can be able to expand. Di ba? Your dream natin is basically to expand, diba? Okay, PowerPoint, please. Alright, next. Next is about eyes of the business. Yun nga, accounting is the eyes of the business. Ano yung pinakauna namin ginagawa? Bookkeeping. Alright. Initial part of accounting activities, no? Enable the owner of the business to check on the financial progress. Naalala ko dito yung aking mga estudyante sa accounting, no? Sabi ko sa kanila, sorry, hindi naman sa pag-degrade sa mga hindi pa nagiging CPA. Wala lang, as a part of parang motivation to my students, so sa San Beda, sa DLSU and Ateneo. Ateneo pala walang accountancy. Yun, sabi ko, hopefully all of you will become certified public accountant. Pag hindi, yung trabaho mo lang ay mag-bookkeep, no, bookkeeping, taga-record lang, di ba? Pag if you are a certified public accountant, beyond bookkeeping is your job, di ba? That's why accountant, no, are economic detectives, right? So you have your bookkeeping, You will become an accountant. And also, you will become an auditor. That's why you have auditing. All right. PowerPoint. Okay. So, auditing. Di ba? Eyes of the business. Di ba sabi nila, pag ikaw ay auditor, ikaw daw ay fault finder. Tama ba? Fault finder ba ang auditor? Hindi siya fault finder, ha? Ang ginagawa ng auditor is basically to check if the internal control is in accordance with your guidelines, your rules and regulations. Kasi madaming nag-deviate, no, sa internal control, no? So auditing, an advanced part of accounting activity, verifies, no, the truthfulness of financial reports concerning the business transactions and financial conditions. So yun. So basically, auditing is the one to check, no, the credibility of your FS, credibility or the truthfulness of your FS. Yan. All right. That's why here, managerial accounting again. Okay, so iba naman to, no? You have also branch of accounting wherein managerial accounting. So accounting facilitates management functions, no? So you have planning. So ito yung ginagawa namin, no? Planning, budgeting, controlling, decision making. That's why ako in San Miguel, what I'm doing is basically more on managerial accounting. Yan, so we plan, we budget, we control. And of course, more on decision making. All right. So far, if you have question, just message na. Number 3, the functions of accounting. Okay? Function of accounting is, again, very important is this, no? To provide financial reports to various end users for economic decision making. So, number 1, again, recorded of FS. That's your journal entry. Diba? Nakahuli is journal book. Ano yan? Yan yung walang kamatayang debit and credit. Diba? If you have an idea of debit and credit, no? Yes. Don't worry, no? I can give you an access naman, no? A journal book, no? Yun yung ginawa kong first webinar. Okay? Alright. Sige na ako kasi we will not discuss more about the journal entries. Classifying naman is basically a summarizing your recorded transactions and events, and then after that, you classify them as assets, liabilities, and owner's equity. Sir, ano yung mga assets? Example, you have your cash. Okay? You have your account receivable. You have your inventories. You have your prepaid assets. You have your supplies. You have your property, plant, and equipment. You have your intangible assets. Ang dami. All of this are all your assets. Sir, ano naman yung mga liabilities? No? You have your accounts payable, notes payable, bonds payable, mortgage payable. Yan. Ano yung capital? So, depende yung capital, ha? Capital is basically if you are a sole proprietorship, you have your owner's equity. Okay? If you are partner's equity, you have your partner's capital. And if you are corporation, you have your capital stock and you have your retained earnings. Yan. That's your capital. And ledger, no? Yan. So, meaning, in terms of classifying, you have your ledger. Alright. And also, summarizing. You summarize the information. Again, you present the information in terms of useful and understandable information. Alright. You have your trial balance. You have your statement of comprehensive income. You have your statement of financial position. So, again, I will give you an access, no? Ito ay ginawa ko na. I have recording of this, no? Alright. Analyzing. So, ito yung pinaka-final na ginagawa ng accountant, no? Basically, to analyze and interpret the FS. So, very important is the judgment, no? The conditions, at the same time, the profitability of operations. Alright. Don't worry. Mamaya pala, I have example naman pala nito. Okay. So, PowerPoint, please. Alright. Next, communication. Yan. That's the very important, no? In accounting. The proper communication. Di ba? Ulit-ulit, no? Ulit-ulit yung communication. Kasi yan yung nawawala talaga. If you are an accountant, no? Not properly be communicated to the intended users, no? Financial reports, ratios, graphs, diagram, notes to FS. So, I am expert to this, no? Especially in terms of the analysis. I can be able to analyze your FS. by merely doing thread analysis, by doing vertical analysis or common size, by doing ratio analysis. Yan. So, yun yung mga ginagawa ko sa aking mga consultancy. So, yun. Alright. Next. Alright. Next is protecting the property of business. Yan. The goal of accounting is basically to evaluate the usefulness of business transactions or resources. That's why, again, you have your internal control to secure if the assets, no, or to ensure them that the unauthorized use of business are properly or is property shall not be made. Meaning, ang gagawin mo lang dyan is to check, no, kung sino ba ang authorized for that asset. Kasi may madaming ganito, no? 'Di ba, Emma and Sibyl, no? Ang daming ganun, no? Especially in terms of your assets, 'di ba? Especially if it does not conform with the management. Yan ay ginagawa lang nila. No, sige, go for it. Yan ay not mandated or not approved by the management. And yet, no, lalo na yung assets, no, lalo na yung mga ano tawag, yung mga bidding or binibenta, no. I remember, no, kinukulit ako dati, naalala ko yan, no? I will not mention my name. Pakakilala yan ni na Emma or Sibyl, no. Sabi sa akin, Sir Jayman, kailangan mo nang ibalik yung cellphone kasi para mabid na. Baka kilala mo yan, no. Tapos nalaman ko yung cellphone pala ay sa kanya din. Yung nagtag-text sa akin na para mabid na, yung pala yung cellphone ay sa kanya. Oh, that's for me, no, parang no yan, no, as an internal control. 'Di ba? Very important is the internal control should be placed, no, and ensure that unauthorized use of business property. Yan. So madami kang internal control. Okay? Anyway. Next, please. All right. Next, preparing legal requirements. Yun. One of the role also of accountant is basically to prepare legal requirements, the SEC requirements, the BIR requirements, the DTI requirements. It facilitates, no, the preparations of the government reportorial requirements to ensure compliance of reporting on time. All right. Lalo na yung Bureau of Internal Revenue. All right. Next. The basic functions of accounting also is to identify, to measure, and communicate, no? And also, the advanced and the critical part, again, is the audit function. Yan, again, audit na naman. Di ba? Next, please. Alright, audit functions. So, is to test reliability of the FS, to trace fraudulent transactions, and locate and rectify the accounting errors. Yan, kaya hindi naman siya ibig sabihin na fault finder ang auditor, but basically to trace if there is any fraudulent transactions, okay, and to locate them if there is an error. All right. Next is all about the purpose of accounting. Yan. So, by the way, if you have question, no, just message in the chat, no. All right. Next, the purpose of accounting again is basically to help the end users of the information to see the true picture of business as a whole. 'Di ba, lalo na ngayon sa pandemic, 'di ba? Sa tingin mo ba yung pandemic ngayon, madami silang naapektuhan, no, in terms of this business. Yan. Next, please. All right, to achieve them, of course, FS prepared the accountants that understandable, relevant, no, reliable, for general purpose. Yan. So, very important is this, no? Relevant ka, understandable ka, reliable ka pa for general purpose is the information. Alright. Next. So, I will just, kasi yun yung mga part lang na theoretical. FS daw should be complete, okay? Should be neutral, should be free from error. Complete, neutral, or free from error. Kasi, nire-report mo mali-mali. Aba, yan. Alright. Next, yan. Explain the objectives of accounting and who are the users of accounting information. Sino-sino na? Okay. For the purpose of this presentation later, no? Ito yung gagawin natin, no? To identify, to record, to communicate, to prepare the accounting reports at the same time, to analyze and interpret for users. Don't worry. Yung iba kasi dito ay discuss na sa accounting for non-accountants. So, I will give you this I will give you the recording of it na later. Alright. By the way, sino-sino again yung mga the internal users? No, the employee, no? Is cash is sufficient to pay the bills? The accountant, okay? What is the cost of manufacturing a product? The cost accountant, no? The human resource, no? Can we afford to give employees salary increase? I remember, no, wala kaming salary increase na bago ako mag-resign sa San Miguel. Wala kaming salary increase sa San Miguel last year. Yun, because of the pandemic. Okay? And which product line is the most profitable? Yan. I remember also, no, I was also part of parang eliminating, no, dati the San Mig Strong Ice. Diba dati may San Mig Strong Ice? So, I am part of that. No? So, because of that information, sasabihin mo na yung product line na yan ay not profitable. So, anong gagawin mo? You will eliminate the segment. Paano mo gagawin? Through using your FS. Yan. Next, please. Next is all about external users of information. Is the company earning an income? Yan. Si mga stakeholders yan, mga investors yan. Pupunta ka again in your FS. Okay? If also competitor, even your competitor is your users of information. Bakit? Kasi gusto nila makita kung ikaw ay successful sa business mo. Totoo yun, ha? Ayan. Ayan. And also, the suppliers, the BIR, will the company be able to pay debts as they become due? Ayan. So, kaya ba ng company na makabayad? Yan. That's basically the suppliers. Okay? Alright. So far clear, ha? Malay mo baka napuputol ako. Okay. Next. Objectives of accounting. Yan. To provide general purpose of FS. Okay? Don't worry. I will not read this anymore. Basta the keyword here is basically to prepare your FS. To prepare general purpose financial reporting. Sir, bakit general purpose? Kasi it applies to all, no? It applies to all. If you are suppliers, if you are investors, if you are employees, if you are accountant, that's your reports, no? So you will go into the FS to be able to know if you are operating at, again, net income, if you are deficit, if you are more cash flow. Yan. Kasi nakakatamad na basahin, no? Alright. I will just explain na lang. Alright, next. Next is all about objectives of accounting. To specifically, no? Number 1, to ascertain if the company is operating at net income. To determine the profitability. Number 2, to ascertain if the company or to know the company is in financial health or financial condition. That's your balance sheet. Diba? Malay mo, yung company pala ay wala ng pera. Yung company pala ay madaming liabilities. Yung company pala ay kung sa may sakit na, no? That's the financial position. Yung kanina, number 1 is more on statement of comprehensive income or your income statement. Number 2 is more on the balance sheet. Yan. Number 3 is to maintain the control over your assets. That's your internal control. Diba? Ulit-ulit lang. Accounting implements the internal control systematic measures in terms of the organization. 2, what? Number 1, to conduct the business. So, yung business mo ba in an orderly manner? Okay? If safeguard of your assets. So, let's say ikaw ay warehouse, tapos warehouse man, tapos ang daming pwede makapasok. Di ba? Safeguard of your assets. No? Detect the errors, fraud, and theft. And number 4, the accuracy and completeness of the accounting data. Yan. And produce reliable and timely financial information. Yan. So, a lot of this should be safeguarded, no? Especially your internal control. The keyword here is the moment na your internal control is to be able to have or to implement or to measure, wala kang problema, no? Basta you have a proper authority. Ano lang ha, trivia lang, no? Sabi nila, If you have your own business, dapat daw you have 4 personnels. Okay? Dapat daw care, no? Ano is care? Ano yung care? C, custody. Dapat isang tao lang yung custodial. Ano bang trabaho niya? Warehouseman or storekeeper. Ang gagawin mo lang ay taga-collect ng inyong mga assets. Gagawin mo lang in and out of your assets. Yan lang yung trabaho mo. C, no? How about A? As in care, no? Care. A is the one who authorize. Malamang yan yung mga boss, no? Ang gagawin mo lang ay mag-authorize. Wala nang iba. R is recording. Ang gagawin mo lang ay mag-record ng transactions. Wala nang iba. Letter E naman is execution. Meaning, kung sa mga tindahan, sila yung mga sales lady. Diba? Execution. Ano nangyari, no? In some of my business consultancy, no? Sir, bakit kami wala ng pera? Bakit kami ay nauubusan ng pera? And then, nauubos yung inventory namin. Hindi na ako convert sa sales. Yung pala, napatunayan ko na isa lang ang tao ang nagre-record, isa lang ang tao ang nag-execute, yung sales lady. O, paano yun? Diba? Para may tindahan lang yan, no? Kung may tindahan kayo sa bahay, diba? Ikaw yung taga-tanggap ng pera. Ikaw po yung taga-record. No? Ano gagawin mo? So, pwede mong tanggap ng pera, then sa bulsa yung pera, and you will not record that. That's basically nangyari, no? So, one of my client, bakit kami, sir, wala nang inventaryo, wala nang inventory? Yan, because of that. Because of that information. Because the one who have the custody, the one who have, the one who execute and the one who record, isang tao lang. Yan. So, yan. So, pag kayo ay mag-create ng own business, dapat yan ay magkaiba. Kahit yung ano lang, the one who execute and the one who record, dapat yan ay magkahiwalay. Yan. Yung authorized, malamang ikaw na yun as the owner, okay, of the information. Yun lang, no? Kasi, di ba, parang tindahan lang yan, no? Ay, naalala ko lang, no? Yung buhay pa yung lolo ko, no? Kwento ko lang. Kami ay may, lagi kaming may Coke, no? Lagi kong inaano yung Coke. Lagi kong iniinom, no? Alright, anyway. Next, please. Alright, next. Also, accounting, no, is basically to aid management in terms of planning and performance evaluation. So, basically, again, budget, forecasting. Diba, Miss Gemma and Sibyl, no, yung ginagawa natin dati sa Santa Fe. Forecasting. Yan. Also, and budget. Next, please. Number 5, to provide information to government agencies. Again, for legal purpose. Yes, for legal purpose, for government agencies, for the BIR, especially BIR. Yan. Next, please. Alright. Accounting information facilitates the work of tax authorities. So, yun yung trabaho natin, di ba? Especially in terms of the tax. Okay? Alright. Internal users of information. Kanina to, di ba? What are the internal users? Again, sila yung gumagawa ng internal reports. So, users is the employees, the managers. External naman is the financing and public groups. Okay. So, ito ay naulit kanina, no? Again, you have internal and you have external. Alright. Yan. Sino yung mga sample ng external users? You have investors, you have employees. Employees pala is not external, no? It should be internal. Alright. PowerPoint, please. I think lagpas siya sa screen. Alright. Next, you have lenders. Okay? And you have also suppliers and other trade creditors. So, I think employees there is not an external. It is an internal. Sorry, baka na mali ako sa paglagay. And customers. Yan. Sila yung pumupunta sa FS natin to look if you are operating, no, or good performance. Okay, next please. Yan, government. Lalo na yung BIR. Diba? Hahabulin kayo ng BIR, lalo na pag kayo ay may net income. Alright. Next, please. Next, please. Alright. By the way, any question? If you have question, just message us, no? in the live chat. Alright, next. Yan. Part 1, the last topic is all about no essential characteristics of being or needed in accounting. It does not hindi ibig sabihin na accountant ka dito, no? As long as as long as you have an idea, no, to become an accountant, no, hindi ibig sabihin. As long as skills lang needed in accounting. Yan. Number 1 daw. Next please. Number 1 is you should have a business knowledge. Common naman to, di ba? Gusto mong matuto ng accounting, tapos wala kang alam about the knowledge, no? The better you understand the overall working of the business and how you and your team fit into the big picture, no, the more productive are you, no, in terms of department. Common sense, no? Skills, of course, in accounting, you should have a business knowledge, no? Nalaman mo pala ang San Miguel pala ay beer industry. Ngayon mo lang nalaman. Yan. Number 2, you should be up-to-date expertise in terms of technology. Lalo na ngayon, di ba? Baka tayo nandito sa webinar na ito, no? Because of this pandemic, no, parang nabuhay yung technology, no? You can sell through online, you can purchase through online, di ba? Finance leaders are often challenged in finding professionals who have up-to-date technology. Alright, ano lang ha, sinong yung nandito na mga accountancy, we will have soon, we will be launching our review center, no, the Certified Public Accountant Review Center. And the keyword here is to up-to-date technology. So hindi lang kami more on to teach you about accounting, but to be able also to offer you, no, the latest technology now. Diba? Soon. Abangan nyo na lang, no? Yan. That's the reason why you also need to update your technology, no, in terms of expertise. But you can also be sure that working with finance-specific software programs, diba dati, you can have ng through worksheet, no? Yan. Makakagawa ka na ng FS. Kahit paper lang. Nag-evolve, no? Pwede nang gumamit ng Microsoft Excel. Pero now, as time goes by, may SAP na. Ano ba yung natin sa civil? Ginagamit natin sa Santa Fe. Hyperion, no? Hyperion, I remember. Yan. Pero Excel lang naman yan, Excel. You have GL system, okay? Yan, Hyperion. You have also what do you call that? GL system, the QuickBooks, yon. So, hindi na siya more on the manual, no? Hindi na siya more on the Excel, but eventually you have now software. Yun. So, hindi lang sa accounting, for sure lahat tayo is we have an up-to-date technology. Yan. Number 3, yan, ulit-ulit, no? Communication skills. Lahat naman siguro is basically a communication skills, di ba? So basically, ability for the information, no, clearly to concisely enhance your verbal and your written skills. Yan. So very important is communication. You have also adaptability. Di ba? Ang ganda ng picture, no? Adaptability and flexibility. So hindi ibig sabihin na because of this pandemic, titigil na tayo, no? Adaptability and flexibility were also the top among the skills accounting and finance needed in terms of this pandemic, lalo na ngayong pandemic, no? Bakit namin naisip na may ganito? Kasi hindi lang tayo nasa bahay lang, no, to offer this, no, at if you have webinar. Alright, number 5. You have also creativity and willingness to help. Yan yung pinaka-importante sa lahat, no? Magtulungan tayo. The best accounting professionals are ambitious self-starters and who can develop new insights. At the same time, you may need to serve as a source of aid when colleagues requires help by navigating a particular program. Yan, di ba? Napakaganda nun. Willingness to help. Okay? And also, customer service orientation. So, accounting professionals can demonstrate good customer service by listening to the needs and concerns of clients. So, very important is the customer service orientation. Okay? Yan. Alright. And also, a specialist experience, no? focus more on the compliance, the commitment, the complement, and the set of accounting skills. All right. So far, any question before we go to the last part, which is for me, yun yung pinaka-inaabangan nyo, especially in terms of accounting. Okay? No questions. So later na lang, no, if you have question. All right. Next topic is all about accounting and literacy in finance. So, di ba, as you notice, sorry, should be module 2 to ha, not module 3. Di ba? When you have accounting, you should also be good or you have a basic knowledge about financial literacy. Di ba? Trust, no? Principles, responsibility, behavior, relationship, reliability, morality, choice. That's basically the overall accounting and literacy and finance. Bakit? Even in your own life, you can be able to apply all of this. No? Kahit wala kang background in accounting. Alright. Alright. What is accounting? Why it is very important for you? Take note ha, specifically it is for the startup business. Bakit ko siya na-relate sa startup business? Kasi myself also a startup business, no? Especially Stripe Executive Asia. Kami ay startup and gusto ko yun nandito din ay mag-start ng business nila. That's why for me, no, kasi this March kasi accounting for beginners, for business, no, a taxation for SMEs, right? And we have that third week is entrepreneurial mindset with Joey Garcia. So it's more on entrepreneurial, no? And then the last is business law by Attorney Jimmy is more on law in terms of business. If you will put up your own business, ano yung mga gagawin nyo as part of the law mandated by the laws in the Philippines. That's why, as you notice here, startup business, I emphasize startup business here. Okay? Accounting is the process of recording financial, again, transactions pertaining to the business. So, di ba? Naulit kanina, di ba? Kanina, accounting again, summarizing, analyzing, reporting, and transactions. Alright. Next, why is important if you have your own business? By the way, kanina, we define lang about accounting. Dito is, isipin nyo na may business na kayo. Alright. Bakit importante ang accounting? Again, number 1, to properly monitor the business funds. Sige, para maganda, ito ay i-relate ko sa aking business, no? The Strive. So, accounting, nakataon lang na ako ay accountant, mas madali. Di ba? Number 1 is, ako ba ay may fund to put up my own business? Yes. May pera ako. Okay? May pera kami. Alright. Meaning, because of accounting, you can be able to monitor that funds. Kasi baka, as time goes by, paunti-unti, nawawala na yung pondo. May ganun na. Hindi naman ibig sabihin na kinukuha mo yung pera. But, of course, for the benefit naman ng business. Kaya lang, your goal here is to increase your net income. Hindi yung to decrease your funds. Di ba? Our goal here is tumaas ang ating benta para lumago din ang ating funding. Di ba? Number 2, to know how to record properly your business transactions. Yan. Yan nga, very important that you have the basic knowledge on how to record your business transactions by merely doing asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. You can be able to record properly your business. Yan. Number 3, to know how to report properly your business. Again, sabi ko kanina, if you have no background in accounting, as long as you know the basic formula, asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity, for sure, hindi ka na mawawala dyan. No? Again, no? Alam mo lang yung asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. Paano yun, sir? Just distinguish lang. Ano yung mga assets mo? Add mo lahat yun. Ano yung mga liabilities mo? Add mo lang yun. And capital. Later, the capital pala is basically all your net income, or if you have your expenses, sales minus expenses, it will be transferred to your capital. So as time goes by, your capital will increase. Alright, later, no? Makikita natin yan. Alright, number 4, if you have your business, know if your business is in earning. Kasi baka una pa lang net loss na. Of course, ganoon naman lagi, no? Lahat naman ay yung business mo ay will suffer. Sa una muna, no? But of course, eventually it will grow naman. And number 5, know if your business is ready for expansion. Di ba napaka sarap sa feeling na yung business mo ay mag-expand na. Yan. Alright. So again, di ba? Again, no? If you have your own business, alalahanin lang niyo itong formulang to. Asset is equals to liabilities plus your capital or your owner's equity. Alright. Compound. Ito yung sinasabi ko sa inyo. No? Diba, as you notice kanina, ano yung formula? Asset is equals to liabilities plus capital. Alright. Pero, you will add daw revenue minus expense. Sir, ano yun? Revenue minus expenses is your net income. So meaning, if you have your assets, dapat yan ay equal sa utang mo, sa capital mo, saka sa net income mo. Alright, o sa Tagalog, no? Pag-aari, no? Parang napakapangat talaga pag itagalog mo yung assets, no? Pag-aari, ari-arian. Alright, liabilities is utang, puhunan is your capital, plus yung benta mo sa kagastos. Yan, no? That's the basic, no? Pag alam mo yung formulang ito, kahit wala kang knowledge about debit and credit, kahit wala kang alam doon, okay lang. As long as you know this formula, for sure, you can be able to monitor your assets, liabilities, owner's equity, your revenue and expenses. Okay? Again, pag-aari is equals to utang plus puhunan plus benta minus gastos. By the way, revenue minus expenses, you have your net income. So, benta minus gastos, kita, sa Tagalog. Alright. Ano yung mga assets pala, sir? Alright. Assets. So, you have current assets and you have your non-current assets. Alright. Ano yung mga current assets? You have your cash and cash equivalents. You have your account receivable. By the way, ano yung cash? Of course, yung cash, pera. Okay? Account receivable. Account receivable is may utang sa'yo yung customer mo. For example, nagbebenta ka ng siomai, walang pera walang pera si Ezra. Ano? Ang aking suking buyer. Sino ba si Ezra? Yun yung suki. No? Walang pera si Ezra. So, si Ezra may utang sa akin. So, on my part, it is account receivable. Yan. Again, wag malito ha, kasi mamaya may tinatawag na accounts payable. Again, account receivable, yung customer mo, may utang sa'yo. Receivable mo sa customer mo. That's why it is part of your assets. Next, inventories. Ano yung inventories? Let's say, you are in the buy and sell. Or if you are in the grocery. Lahat ng inventory mo doon ay inventories. Diba? Yan. Inventories. So, number 4, prepaid assets. Ano yung prepaid assets? Prepaid assets sa yung mga yan yung mga binayaran mo in advance. Binayaran mo in advance. Meaning, let's say, ang dami mong pera. No? Ang daming pera ni, sino pa nandito? Pwedeng patingin nga nung kung sino yung umattend. Alright. Let's say, ang daming pera ni Eliza. No? Alright. Daming pera niya. No? So, meaning, siya ay nag-uupa kay Jamil, no? Yan. So meaning, siya ay nangungupa kay Jamil, so binayaran na si Jamil ng 10 million para sa kanilang upa sa condominium. Meaning, it is a prepaid rent, no? On the part of Eliza. Why? Because you pay in advance. 'Di ba? That's a prepaid assets. Yan. All right. Sir, bakit yan ay current assets? Meaning, it will be used less than a month, or it is part of the asset which is to be parang controlled by you, no? Or to be realized within 1 year. And within 1 year and a normal operating cycle whichever is longer. All right. Next is all about non-current assets. So ito naman ay property, plant and equipment. So ano itong mga non-current assets? Okay? You have your building, you have your equipment, you have your land. Yan. Sir, bakit siya non-current assets? 'Di ba? Sila ay ginagamit mo more than a year. Tama ba? Ginagamit mo yung building 5 years, 'di ba? 20 years or 'di ba? That's the non-current assets. Alright. Next. Sir, ano naman yung liabilities or utang? So you have current liabilities. So you have your trade payables. So accounts payable. Meaning yung usual na payables mo na utang, that's your trade payable. You have also advances from officers. So meaning may utang ka sa officers mo. Wala kang pera. So nangutang muna yung company sa officers mo. Alright, non-current liabilities naman, loans payable, yes, mortgage payable, bonds payable. So meaning, to classify current liabilities naman is you will pay that liabilities for or within a year, within 1 year. Non-current naman is you will pay the liabilities more than 1 year. That's in loans payable or bonds payable. Again, current, babayaran mo siya within 1 year. Non-current liabilities, babayaran mo siya more than 1 year. Ganun lang yan. Same as your assets also. Alright. Next. Okay, what happened? PowerPoint, please. Alright, next, you have your capital or sa Tagalog, puhunan. So, you have owner's equity. Take note, no? Sir, bakit yung profit mo, bakit yung revenue and expense mo ay part ng capital? Again, sabi ko kanina, yung net income mo ay isasarado mo, itatransfer mo sa owner's equity or capital. Yan yung ibig sabihin ng profit. 'Di ba? As time goes by, yung capital mo ay lumalaki. That's basically your profit. 'Di ba? Owner's equity and profit. Again, ano nga yung formula? Asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity or capital. Pero plus your revenue minus your expense. Or just add the net income to get you with that formula. Okay? So very important. Again, kahit wala kang knowledge about debit and credit, as long as you know the formula of asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity, liabilities plus owner's equity plus net profit, no? Wala na. Alam mo na. Alam mo na yung mangyayari sa iyo, no? For you, no? Yan. All right. Next, please. Not worry, I have with me example, no? Next question. Gusto na magnegosyo ni sino pa nandito? Annabel or ni Hannah, 'di ba? Or ni Jose. Gusto niya na magnegosyo, pero ang sabi niya, paano kami magnegosyo? Alright. Wait lang, ba't lumaki? Okay lang? Okay lang yan? Okay lang. Go, okay lang. So, how to raise capital? Okay. Not worry, akala ko yun yung okay. How to raise capital, no? Number 1, through earnings. Profit or kita. Yan. So, profit or kita through earnings. Yan. So, for example, may retirement ka sa San Miguel. Okay, yan. So, ginamit ko yung pera ko of my retirement to put up this Strive. No? Yan. Meaning, may kita ka from your previous employer. Pwede mo maging kapital yon sa negosyo. Number 2, wala ka talagang pera. No? Pwede kang mag-apply ng business loan. Apply for bank business loan. Lalo na ngayon, because of pandemic, mas maganda, mas maluwag. Kasi kailangan din ng pera ng bangko. Or, number 3, yung sabi nga ni Sibyl, i-accept niya daw si Miss Emma, no, to get investment from investors. Capitalist partner. Or, you can use DTI. Ito, mga samples to ng mga government agencies. DTI loans. Yan. Lalo na pag small business loan project, you can apply through Department of Trade and Industry. Even sa Department of Science and Technology. Lalo na pag may invention ka. Wow. And also other government grants. So, may government SMSE project or business project also. Yan. So, ang dami. So, wala nang wala nang reason para hindi mag-business. Ang dami kang option, no? How to raise your capital, how to raise your puhunan. 'Di ba? Ang para sa akin na pinakamaganda sa lahat, para wala ka nang iisipin pa, just accept a partner, business partner. Tapos yung partner mo mag-invest, 'yun, 'di ba? Ang poproblemahin mo na lang ay ang problema mo ay dapat maibigay mo, no? Maibigay mo yung anong tawag doon? Yung ROI sa kanya. Ayan. Next. Next please. How to maximize naman your money or capital from your startups business. Again, my focus here is basically to start up business. Number 1, set and secure working capital for 1 week and 1 month to secure the operations of the business for at least 1 month. Sir, anong ibig sabihin ng working capital? Sabi niya, set and secure working capital. Meaning, current assets, your cash, your AR, your inventories, minus your liabilities. Dapat you have, sa Tagalog, may pera ka dapat dito. May pera ka dapat dito, sabi niya, for 1 week to 1 month in setting up your business. Alright, paano yun? Sabi, dapat daw, may pera ka para magpa-register ng business mo. Yun lang naman. Number 2, of course, magpapasweldo ka. Tama ba? What else? Any other petty expenses, no? Yung mga pamasahe mo, mga meals mo, yan. Ang sabi, at least, or 1 week to 1 month to secure the business, no? Usually, yung pag-set up ko ng business ko, ang gastos ko lang naman yung pagbayad ko sa SEC kasi it is a one-man corporation, no? The Strive. Put up my own SEC, then magbabayad ako sa BIR, and then after that, magbabayad ka ng business permit. Yan, yun lang naman, no? Medyo malaki-laki siya. Pero at least okay lang. Kasi naman, wag kayong mag-business na wala kang permit, no? Kasi pag kayo na-audit ng BIR or ng SEC or ng DTI, yan, patay kayo. Alright, number 2, budget your working capital properly. Yun nga, you will budget your cash, especially if you have your business partner. Dapat yan ay sapat, no? To have your business, no? Number 3, invest on income generating investment and long-term assets. So ito naman yung mga madami kasing mga tayo ay nag-i-invest sa mga income generating investment. So ano siya, parang stocks, no? Pwede mong yung puhunan diyan na muna instead na nasa bangko. Stocks muna tayo. Yan. Number 4, start small, earn big mentality. Take note of number 4, 'di ba? Take note of number 4. Start small, pero you will think big mentally. 'Di ba? That's the keyword here. Even though small pa lang yung business mo, pero you see to it that you are earning big, no? Mentally. All right. Basically is stays hands-on, no? In your business. All right. Wait lang ha. Next. Number 5, stay hands-on. Stay hands-on, no? On your business. Now, do not hire people unless needed. Take note. Set aside, no? Very important is to hire employees, no? Stays hands-on your business and do not hire people unless it is needed. Yan, very important is pag wala ka pang pera, ikaw na muna, no? Ikaw na muna. And do not hire people unless it is needed. Yan. Alright, that's basically number 5. Alright. PowerPoint, please. Alright. Any question pala? Can before we go to the reporting side. All right. Next. All right. Ito na tayo. So very important is you should know the basic FS, no? You have your income statement, your balance sheet, and your cash flow. Kahit yan lang, as long as you have that information, okay na, no? Sir, bakit walang equity? Okay lang. For me, as long as you have an idea about the income statement, the balance sheet, and the cash flow, hindi na kayo mawawala. Ano nga yung una? Just chat nga sa live chat. Ano nga yung unang formula? Asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. If you have owner's equity, you will add your net profit. Yan. With this information, yes, you have your income statement, you have your balance sheet, and you have your cash flow. Alright, one by one tayo. No? What do you mean of income statement? Next, please. Alright, income statement. Next, please. Alright, how to compute for profit? Sa Tagalog, ito ay kita. No? Kita. So, income statement, revenue or benta. Let's say you have a revenue of 1,000. Let's say ito ay 1 million, ha? Hindi siya 1,000, no? Let's say 1 million. And you have your cost, expenses, okay? You have your gastos. Let's say cost of supply, sa Tagalog supply, of worth 400. Okay? You have your salaries or pasahod, you have 50 pesos. May renta ka ng 100. Napaka-imposible. 100. Let's say this is 1,000, no? Your profit here is 450. Take note of this formula. No? That's the basic about income statement. You have your revenue minus your cost of sales, minus your salaries, kung may pasahod ka, minus your rental, minus all your operating expenses, you have your profit. Sa Tagalog, yan ay kita. Diba napakadali? Ano yung formula? Benta minus supply minus pasahod minus renta minus is equals to kita. Alright. That's basically your income statement. Alright. Next. Next, please. Sorry. Next is all about balance sheet. Alright. After that, what you will do is to prepare your balance sheet. Alright. Assets. You have cash and bank. Sorry, cash. Ano to? Cash in bank to. Not end. Cash in bank. You have your accounts receivable. You have your inventories. And you have your property, plant, and equipment. Yan. So, if you add all of this, that's your total assets. Tama ba? Cash in bank, account receivable, inventories, and property, plant, and equipment. You have a 5 million total assets. Yan. Next. Again, ano kayong formula again kanina? Assets is equals to liabilities plus your owner's equity. Next please. Next is liabilities. Now, so notice, accounts payable of 2,000 and you have loans payable of 500. Magkano yung utang mo? Ang utang mo ay 2,500. Alright, next. Magkano yung capital mo? 2,200 plus 300. You have also 2,500. Take note, no? Take note of your assets total. 5,000. Tama ba? Tingnan mo yung nasa baba. Liabilities plus owner's equity is also 5,000. Again, go back to our accounting equation. Asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity or capital. Sir, yan ba balanse? Yes or no? 5,000 assets. The other one is 5,000 is also 5,000. So meaning, it is balance. Alright. Balance in terms of your balance sheet. Sir, paano yan, sir? Just record lang. Again, just go back to our accounting equation is asset is equals to liabilities plus your owner's equity. Alright. Sir, how about cash flow? Alright. So, cash flow, di ba magkano kanina ang ating profit? Di ba 10,000? Yan. Para sa akin, ito yung pinakamadali, yung cash flow. Kasi you just monitor or summarize lang your cash. Alright. After that, you add all your non-cash expenses. Bakit mo i-add? Kasi para lang maibalik yung mga hindi mo nagastos as part of your cash. And also, you add your collection of receivables. And nakakolekta ka na ng 5,000. Alright, ima-minus mo lang yung lahat ng mga ginastos mo. Payment of payables, purchase of your assets. Ganun kadali ang cash flow. 'Di ba? Again, you have your profit, i-add mo lang lahat ng mga non-cash expenses mo. Then, pag nakakolekta ng pera, you add. Tapos yung mga gastos mo, payment of payables, payment of purchase of the assets, yan lang. That's your assets. Increase or decrease in cash of 15,000. May beginning balance ka na 3,000. Ano na yung cash ending mo? 12,000 na. That's your cash flow statement. Sabi nila, ay sir, kala ko mahirap yung cash flow. Hindi, mahirap ang cash flow if you are or startup business ka pa lang. Of course, as time goes by, if yan ay malaki na, malamang lalaki na, lalaki yan, no? Ano gagawin mo? Of course, you will hire an accountant, no? To be able for you to understand well about accounting. Of course, startup business, kasi for me, no, gusto ko startup business muna para as long as you have a knowledge of it, especially in terms of your accounting. Alright, next. Alright. Kayo ba ay magbi-business na? I remember si Sibyl, di ba? Sabi mo gusto mong mag-business. Alright. Ano mo unang gagawin? Step number 1 is to apply. Let's say, si Sibyl gusto niyang magkaroon ng business and sabihin natin yan ay sole proprietorship. So, anong gagawin ni Sibyl? Pupunta siya sa Department of Trade and Industry to register the name of the company. Yan. So, pupunta si Sibyl sa Department of Trade and Industry to register the company. Kaya sabi ni Sibyl, ayaw ko ng sole proprietorship. No? Ayaw ko ng sole proprietorship. Gusto ko korporasyon. 'Di ba? Gusto ko one-man corporation. So, anong gagawin ni Sibyl? Siya ay pupunta sa saan? Sige na, type nyo nga. Saan ka pupunta if you want to put up your own business pero corporation? Malamang alam nyo yan, no? O anyone, just chat in the live chat. Saan? Alright, very good. Very good, Sibyl. Sa Securities and Exchange Commission. So, pupunta siya sa SEC to register the name of his or her company. Yan, SEC. And after that, barangay permit. Sir, bakit barangay permit? No, dapat may barangay permit ka na ipuput up sa yung business. Let's say, ito ay nasa Makati kami ngayon. So, dapat meron kaming barangay clearance, barangay permit sa Barangay San Isidro, Makati. Ayan. Thank you, Emma. Okay? Yan. So, after that, kasi sa mayor's permit kasi, hindi ka makakakuha ng mayor's permit pag wala kang barangay permit. Yan. Pero usually, ang ginagawa ko dito, step number 1, step number 2 ko is the Bureau of Internal Revenue na. Pwede naman, barangay permit, pwede naman yan. Kasi, matagal kasi sa BIR. Sobrang tagal. Ngayon, may appointment pa. Kasi di ba I have also my accounting service. So, madami akong pinaprocess na business registration, no? Madali lang sa DTI through online, madali lang sa SEC, matagal talaga sa BIR kasi by appointment. Ang maganda kasi sa DTI, sa SEC, may online na. 'Di ba? If you have to put up your business through online, no, you can set up ngayon pa lang. You can set up your own business through DTI. Magbabayad ka ng 2,000. Also the SEC, 2,000 at 2-3, no? Yan. So, step number 1, wala ka ng problema. Yung step number 2 lang, yung Bureau of Internal Revenue, matagal minsan, no? Yan. And after that, barangay permit. And after that, you have now mayor's permit. Yan. So, after that, pag meron ka na, by the way, sa Bureau of Internal Revenue pala, meron doong accredited na gumagawa ng resibo. Ganun yan. 2-in-1 na yung BIR. Totoo yan. Sila na mismo nagsusupply ng resibo. Yan, OR. Alright, next. Next, please. Alright. Next is small business. All right. So, let's say supply na, no? You have now your own business, no? Let's say Juan de la Cruz decided to put up his own barbecue. It is named Barbecue ni Mang Juan. So, he decided to open up his own business because of the pandemic. Ano lang tayo ha? Basic lang to, no? He also has experience in operating barbecue business when he worked in the restaurant abroad. He can borrow 30,000 from Strive. O, nagpapautang na kami ha. Ito ko lang. Strive program. And he plans to use this as his starting capital. So, anong gagawin niya? Next please. Again, si Juan de la Cruz ay mag-start ng business. Yan. So, di ba, available capital o nangutang ka worth 30,000. Out of 30,000 na inutang mo sa Strive or sa DTI, bumili ka ng stall cart worth 10,000. Bumili ka ng griller worth 3,000. Bumili ka ng grilling tools worth 2,000. Bumili ka ng sauce container worth 500. Trash bin and cash box worth 800. So, magkano lahat ang investment mo? So, if you add 10, 3, 2, 500, 300, and 500, you have 16,300. That's your total capital investment. By the way, it should be capital investment. Yan. Next, please. Alright, sorry. Next, please. Okay. Case 1, supplies. So, di ba, meron ka ng 16,300. Of course, you have your capital investment. So, bumili ka ng assets mo. Now, yung pangalawa naman is bumili ka ng supplies para sa barbecue mo. Di ba? 400, no? Pesos times 7 days. So, meaning for 1 week lang to. Let's say, ang gagastusin mo sa pork, 400 pesos sa 7 days na yan. So, may gastos ka na 2,800. Sa chicken, inasal, 300 times 7 days. So, you have 2,100. So, bibili ka ng uling, charcoal, bibili ka ng barbecue sticks, bibili ka ng marinade, ng sauce, ng plastic bag. All in all, supplies, all in all, is 8,000. Di ba kanina, may nagastos ka na 16,300. Ito naman ay nagastos ka ng supplies worth 8,000. Alright, magkano lahat ng investment mo? Di ba? Nag-utang ka ng 30,000 sa bangko na, no? Then, bumili ka ng mga gamit as assets mo worth 16,300. Then, bumili ka ng mga supplies mo para sa yung barbecue, no, worth 8,000. Magkano lahat yung nagastos mo? 24,300. Magkano na lahat yung natira sa 30,000 na available funds mo minus sa lahat ng nagastos mo sa barbecue? 'Di ba? 5,700 na lang. Alright, so yung pera mo ay 5,700. Nagets ba ako? 'Di ba? Napakadali lang. Ganun lang. The basic of accounting. Alright, next. Sorry, maliit ba? Nakikita ba? Okay na yan. Alright, next. Let's say yung magkano yung nagastos mo? 'Di ba? Nagastos mo kanina ay PowerPoint please. Kanina nagastos mo lang ay 8,000, 'di ba? 8,000 lang naman yung operating supplies mo. Alright. So anong ginawa mo? So ano muna tayo? Sa baba muna tayo, no? Nagbayad ka ng renta. The rent is worth 100, no? Daily rate is 100 for 8 hours times 30 days. So you have 3,000. Yan. Magbabayad ka ng salary worth 6,000. With one staff, ang bayad niya ay 200 per day times 30 days. So, ganun na. Ganun yung gagawin niyo, no? Medyo mahirap lang talaga. Alright. Also, ito yung kanina, no? Yung pork, di ba kanina? Bumili ka ng pork ng 12,000. Bumili ka ng chicken, ng charcoal. Ito yung kanina, ha? Barbecue sticks, marinade, barbecue sauce, and plastic bag. So, anong tawag doon? Lahat yan ay tinatawag na cost and expenses. It is worth 42,400. Alright. Take note of this. No? Take note of this. If you have 42,400 as your total expenses, alam mo na kung magkano ang isa-set mo na selling price or sales. Kasi, maganda kasi, sa una pa lang, alam mo na kung magkano yung cost and expenses mo. Hindi pwedeng mauna yung revenue kasi baka magkamali ka magkamali ka sa costing. Ano yung una mong gagawin? Compute for the cost per unit of every product before setting up your selling price. Totoo lang madami nangyaring ganito, no? You set up a lot. You set up cost per price. Nagkamali ka sa cost per price. Nagkamali ka sa selling price. Okay? And then ang dami pala ng gastos mo. Yan. That's why you have 42,400. Take note of that. Magkano yung revenue mo? Your revenue is 60,000. By setting up your revenue, let's say you sold pork barbecue worth 50 pesos times 30 days or 30 pieces times 30 days, you have 45,000. You sold chicken barbecue worth 5 pieces times 100 pieces times 30 days, you have 15,000. So all in all, magkano revenue mo? Your revenue mo ay 60,000. Dito, maganda, no? So meaning, yung kita mo na 30,000, yung na-invest mo na 30,000, di ba? For this year, you have a monthly income of 17,600. My question here is, good or bad is 17,600? So, sir, saan ang galing yung 29%? Meaning, 17,600 divided by 60,000, you have a 29% earning. My question here is, it is bad or good? Diba? For me, good too. For me, good, no? Because you are operating at net income. Take note, 17,600 is only applicable for 1 month. Magkano yung puhunan mo kanina? Diba? 30,000 lang. Yan yung inutang mo. If your monthly income is 17,600, after a month, let's say parehas yung income mo for next month, after a month pala na 17,600, yung ROI mo ay naibalik na sa'yo, di ba? So, meaning after 3rd month or 4th month, you have now a net income. Alright. So far, any question? Ito ba ay madali lang? Don't be shy. Just message me. Alright. Diba? Ito lang yung pinaka-easy for me, no? Yes, mahirap yung accounting as long as lang you have an idea on how to solve it, on how to record it. Okay yun, ha? Again, ano nga yung formula? Asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity. In the owner's equity, you have your revenue minus your expenses. Alright, I think it is done. How about, next please. Alright, Q&A. So far clear? Alright. Okay? Any question? Or just chat if you have question. Hopefully malinaw. Any question? Or any feedback about my discussion? It's good ba? Or you understand ba? Or, sir, parang mahirap pa. Alright. If mahirap pa, don't worry. I can repeat it, no? Alright. No response? Nandun ba kayo? Okay. Anyway. Hopefully you learned, no? Sibyl? Emma? Alright. Alright. Clear po and very good information. Alright. Thank you, Sibyl. Alright. Sige. Ano yung question? Usually, sir, mahirap pa magnegosyo? Especially in terms of accounting? Mahirap siya, no? Lalo na if startup business. Kasi, yes, for now, you are the one who will parang, kasi wala pa yung kita talaga, no? Darating din yan, no? But eventually, parang mahirap siya because parang you set up your own brand, no? Pero maganda din nag-start ka na ng business mo para at least makilala na yung business mo for having this webinar, for having this corporate training. Yan. Alright. Another question here. What else? Alright. Sir, simple lang ba about accounting? Complex ba yung accounting? Again, startup business, as long as the formula is basically an asset is equals to liabilities plus owner's equity, hindi kayo mawawala doon. And then you add all your net profit to the other side, no? Okay na yun, no? Yun nga lang, pag lumaki na yung business mo, anong gagawin mo? Hire an accountant, no? And then, hire an accountant at the same time to be able also to purchase also what you call that, to purchase a accounting software. How much should you pay yourself as a business owner? Mahirap na tanongin yung moral, Alright. Of course, parang masaya ka, di ba? Pag if ever you are the owner of the company, parang for now, yes, ikaw muna yung gumagastos sa lahat. Pero at the end of the day, parang masaya ka din, no? Kasi at least yung passion mo for teaching, yung passion mo to put up your own business, parang na-achieve mo. Yun, tuloy-tuloy lang. And then you pay off siguro, 'di ba, parang after at the end of the day, pag kumikita na yung company mo, parang okay lang naman na ikaw muna yung gumastos and eventually pwede mo naman i-reimburse yan. Ano ba business mo, Morel? Entrepreneur ka rin pala, Alright, Soap LMS Enterprise. Thank you for attending, Morel, Ayan. Alright, my student in perpetual, Morel. Alright. Bakit ba? Kumusta yung business mo, Morel? Alright. One-man team, sir. Yun nga, one-man team talaga. Mahirap talaga pag one-man team. Buti naman sa amin, with the help of Ezra and Rome, and also Macarius, Ayun, okay naman, surviving is the company. Okay. Alright. What else? Any question? So, alright. So by the way, thank you very much for attending this webinar. Don't worry, we will also give naman the recording of it. I will give an access later. And then on behalf of the Startup Executive Asia, next, if partnership po, how will you share the profit? Depende yon si Bill, usually ang ginagawa niyan is based on the investment, Let's say you put up your business worth 100,000. Ang na-invest mo ay 60,000, si Emma ay 40,000. So meaning you have a 60%. Depende rin sa usapan niyo, and you have 40%. Or pwede naman ikaw ay lahat magkapital, tapos si Emma naman ay salary. Pwede naman ganun. Pero usually, depende yan sa ini-invest mo sa company. Para, di ba tama naman yon, para lang maging fair, mas malaki yung in-invest mo, yun din naman yung percentage of share mo sa company. Alright. Thank you, Emma. Alright. What else? Yun. Again, if none, 5:58. If none, on behalf of Startup Executive Asia, So thank you very much for attending in this webinar. Okay, thank you then, Mon. Alright, thank you for this. By the way, just like and share our company, Startup Executive Asia. And also, after this, we have taxation naman. Income taxation by my friend, Alfred Pabas. Alright, and then on March 20 is basically Joey Garcia. You can attend. Yun naman is more on entrepreneurial mindset. If you have an entrepreneurial mindset, attend on March 20. Siya ay si Mr. Joey Garcia, the owner of Rai Raiken and the owner of Takara Hotel. And the last March 27 is Mr. Attorney Jimmy Balmediano, a CPA. Ano naman siya, is more on the business law. Yan. So, if ever you can attend all, No, if ever you pay for 750 now, just pay for the difference, and then you have a chance pa to win. Kuro-Kuro Crofol franchise. Totoo yan, ha? Homepreneur franchise. Yan. Alright, so if none, thank you very much, and thank you for attending this webinar, and hope to see you all. Alright, bye-bye. Alright, thank you. Thank you. Ano pa video? Wala. Video ba ako? Yan ang mga mag-ano ka man, mag-ano ka ng ano. Yung parang sa cellphone na lang, parang gano'n na gumaganon. Kaya lang wala na, no. Kaya lang problema, dapat parang kasalita ako din. Punta ka muna dun sa webinar, parang ganun. Para at least nag-webinar pa din. Maganda kasi cellphone eh. Parang, di ba, gumaganon ka. Parang SDE din, no? Di ba maganda yung yun? Ayan. Tapos, ipakita mo rin yung ko. Ipakita mo rin yan, no? Para at least talagang nag-webinar. All right. So accounting is very important now in terms of accounting. Why? Accounting is the language of business. Now, without accounting, for sure you cannot monitor. You cannot monitor in terms of the business, in terms of your performance, in terms of your cash flow. Why? Because again, the definition of accounting is the language of business. All right. So, do you have any question? All right, Sibyl, no? Do you have question about accounting? All right. Accounting, yes, accounting is very important, no? Why? Again, accounting is the language of business. Without accounting, in terms of your financial information, you cannot be able to monitor, especially your performance, your conditions, your cash flow, at the same time your equity.